The first time I understood how little I mattered, I was 12. My sister wanted a horse for her birthday. Not a pony, a horse. My parents said yes. I asked for a new backpack because mine had a broken zipper and my books kept falling out in the rain. My mom said we'd see. We never saw. That was the year I stopped asking for things. 20 years later, I got a notification on my phone, a charge for $10,800. My credit card, I stared at it for a long time, sitting in my car outside work, the engine running. Then I called the bank to confirm there was no fraud. There was no fraud. My mother had used the card I'd given her years ago, the one she said was for emergencies only. I drove to their house that evening. My parents live rent-free in the house my grandmother left me. They moved in when my father retired, and I never asked them to leave. It felt wrong to charge family. My mother opened the door with a glass of wine in her hand. "Oh, good, you're here," she said. "We wanted to tell you in person." My sister was on the couch looking at cruise brochures. My father was in his chair pretending to watch TV. We booked the trip, my mother said, for her birthday. The whole family. Aren't you excited? I asked about the credit card. She waved her hand. You don't need the money anyway. You have that good job, no family to spend on. Consider it a gift to your sister. My sister smiled at me, not a grateful smile, the same smile she'd had at 12 on her horse. I stood there in the doorway and I felt something shift, not anger, not hurt, something colder, more like a door closing quietly in a distant room. I smiled back at them. "Enjoy it," I said. "Really, I hope you have the best time." My mother looked surprised. Then she smirked, the way she always did when she won. "I knew you'd understand," she said. They left 3 weeks later. I watched the cruise ship track online, a tiny dot moving across the Caribbean. Then I called a realtor. The house sold in 4 days. A young couple with a toddler. They walked through the rooms holding hands, talking about where the crib would go. I signed the papers and didn't feel much of anything. The missed calls started on day 5 of their cruise. 25 of them. I counted. I didn't answer. I let the phone buzz against my kitchen table until it stopped. Then I turned it off and made dinner. They showed up at my apartment the next morning. Both of them. My mother's face was gray. My father looked old for the first time in my life. "How could you?" my mother whispered. I asked her how the cruise was. She stared at me. My father stepped forward. "That was our home. Where were we supposed to?" "You told me I didn't need the money," I said. "I didn't need the house either." My mother started crying. Real crying. Not the performative kind she did at funerals. "Your sister's things were in there. Her photos. The new owners seem nice," I said. "They have a little girl. She'll grow up in that house." My father grabbed my arm. His fingers were shaking. "Fix this." I looked down at his hand on my sleeve. Then I looked at him. "I can't," I said. "It's done. They're staying with my sister now." She called me once, screaming. I listened for a minute, then said I hoped she had good photos from the trip, and hung up. It's been 3 weeks. The cruise photos are still on social media. My mother smiling, holding a drink with a little umbrella. My father on a beach. My sister in sunglasses, beautiful and untouchable. I look at them sometimes, not because I miss them, because I'm trying to feel something, regret, maybe, or guilt, or triumph. But there's nothing there, just the same quiet I felt at 12. Standing in the kitchen while my mother talked about my sister's horse. Last night I dreamed about the house. Not my parents in it, the young couple. The woman was hanging curtains in what used to be my grandmother's room. The toddler was running in circles on the lawn. In the dream, I sat on the porch and watched them, and it felt like watching strangers move into a life that was never really mine. I woke up and made coffee and sat in the dark until the sun came up. My phone is silent now. They've stopped calling. I don't know if that's better or worse.